In this video, I want to talk to you about WordPress plugins. Now, a plugin is like a little snippet of code that's pre-packaged for you to be able to add to your WordPress site very easily, and by doing so, you will increase the amount of features or functionality of your WordPress site. Now, there are thousands of plugins out there, and with a little imagination and a couple of bucks, probably more than that, you can go and have your own plugins created. Right now, though, I want to show you on your dashboard where you go and check out plugins. And you go over here to plugins. You can either click on the word or hit the drop down arrow to expand that and see the install plugins right now. These are the ones that come with the initial installation. Akismet is definitely one that you want to have installed on your site because this will help keep the spammers away. And the Hello Dolly, it's just a cute little plugin that frankly I always delete because it's like something you don't really need to have. But every time that you go to upgrade your WordPress site, it's going to pop up. So if you delete it today and you upgrade tomorrow, and if it shows up again, well, now you know why. Now, as far as adding additional features or adding new plugins, click right here on the new. As you can see, also you have an editor here, so if you're familiar with PHP coding and various types of coding used in plugins and you want to dive into editing these plugins yourself, feel free. You've got that option right here. Now, there are several ways in which you can add plugins. One, you can just simply check out the popular tags here and click on one. It'll take you to that particular plugin site. You can do a search here based on a keyword, or you can come up here and see what, just like in our themes video, what are available that are featured, popular, newest, and recently updated on the WordPress.org site. Now then, if we click on, let's say, popular, you'll see that Akismet, like I just said, is very popular and it should be on just about every WordPress site out there. And this is another very popular one. Of course, you can see here are other popular ones too. But this one here, let's go ahead and install this now. And if you see this, just like we were in our themes video, we are still in our site, we're still in the dashboard area, but we're drawing this information from the WordPress.org site. Let me bump over there real quick. WordPress.org, and if you go to extend and then plugins, that's going to bring you to this page right here. You can do the same thing for themes, but right now we're in the plugins section, and for example, I did a search for backup as a keyword. Click on search plugins, and we've got 306 possibilities, and this one here popped up first in the order of relevance. Now then, one thing you want to keep in mind, especially if you're brand new to WordPress sites and plugins, is you want to take advantage of the information given to you here by other users of this plugin. If it has not been updated in a long time, has a lot of downloads, and has very few rating stars here, you might want to avoid this plugin like the plague. Now then, just on the same train of thought, if it's been updated recently and has several thousand downloads and has a lot of stars rated here, then this is one you might want to consider adding to your site. Now, while I'm on the topic of adding plugins to your site, I do need to say that there is a bit of overkill that you might want to be aware of. The more plugins that you add to your site, chances are good that you may end up slowing down the load time of your site. And if your visitors encounter a slow loading site, it does not matter how many cool bells and whistles you have attached to your site, they're not going to see it because after just a few seconds of it not showing up because you got so many plugins installed, they're off to the next shiny object. So you want to keep that in mind. Moderation is something you want to consider whenever installing a lot of plugins. One thing you might want to consider too as far as determining the speed of the load time you've got and whether or not this plugin is that important. Right down here, I'm using Firefox as my browser, and I've got a plugin or an add-on to my Firefox browser called Why Slow. And if you do a search on your favorite search engine for Y, SLOW, and you use the Firefox browser, then that might be something you might want to consider using to help determine the increased load time that a particular set of plugins are adding to your site. And that way you'll know if you want to keep them or not. Right here on the WordPress.org site, you can do a search here. And if we go to this guy right here, just click on the link, It'll pull this up. You've got plenty of details right here you can check out. And right here gives you some more information that is compatible up to this version of WordPress, which frankly isn't even out yet. And some more information over here. And you can download this. That's the key. This will download to your computer. If you do the same thing from within the WordPress, from within your site, then you can install it without downloading it to your computer. It actually installs it directly onto your server. So if we go right here, and as you can see, since we already have Akismet installed, install is not an option. Update is. Whereas we do not have this one installed, so we do have the install option, as well as the details like we just viewed on the WordPress.org site. So if we want to install the all-in-one SEO pack, we just simply click on that. It gives us a little warning, pops up. Click on OK. Now then it's installed, but it's not activated. You can activate it here, or we can go back to our plugins page, and we can see right here we can activate it, and we can activate the Akismet too. Or we can do a bulk activate by checking this box up here, hitting the drop down here, and we have these options to choose from. If we want to delete a lot of them at one time, if we want to upgrade a lot of them at one time, deactivate, you get the picture. So we're going to activate these, except for Hello Dolly, and click on apply. And if there's any additional requirements to make that plugin operate properly, then they're going to pop up here. Or if there's some conflicts between a plugin that you just installed and another one, it's going to pop up here an error message. That's basically it as far as an introduction to the plugins and installing the plugins. We will be getting in a little bit deeper on specific plugins in an upcoming video and how to not only install them, but also, more importantly, how to configure them, just like this one here. That's going to bring us to the end of this video.